Hello, 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 everyone, and hello, everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. Oh gosh. So, what's eating you? Psychology Eats is here to help you. What's eating you? Let's wait for a few people to get in here and then we will start the live. Hello, Princess. Let's wait for a few people to Hold get on, let me in mute here, and then this. We will start. Let me mute this. Let me mute. Hello. It is still July. Is today the last day of July or is there 31 in July? It's a shame, I don't know. Thank you, Princess. Oh my God. Is there 31 in July? I can't remember. And I don't have a calendar anywhere near me. There is a 31 in July. Okay. So, anywho, it is still Black and Indigenous People Mental Health Awareness Month. And I wanted to get this live in before the month ended. So I'm going to give it a couple of more minutes, but people can always come back and watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, thank you for coming back and watching the replay. This is a session on Black Lives Matter. And why do they matter? It's kind of going back to the sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me, which is a lie. Names do hurt. Names can be more damaging than physical altercations. So yes, that's what I'm talking about today. Hold on now, y'all. Allergies still bad. Black Lives Matter. So what are some of the Black lies that we have been told as Black people? Now, if you are white or Hispanic or whatever other race you might be, you can learn something from this and even think about lies that you were told about. Hi, Virginia. And even think about lies that you were told that have damaged your self-worth and your self-esteem. So we can look at the topic as far as women. What have we been told as women that were lies that have hurt us and hurt our self-esteem? But tonight, I'm talking about Black lies that we were told as little kids that mattered to how our self-esteem and self-worth was developed and is developed as Black people. July is Black and Indigenous People Mental Health Awareness Month. So those of you who are watching this and you're new to my channel, I am a psychotherapist. I've been in mental health for over 25 years. I've worked with all kinds of people, all nationalities, genders, you name it. I've worked with as a therapist with those people, all people. I'm going to say all people. I don't think there's any group of people that I have not worked with over those years. including all diagnoses, people with bipolar, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, PTSD, you name it, all kinds of phobias and fears. I've worked with all those people. Borderline personality disorder, addictions. I've worked with all those people. So Black Lives Matter. I wanted to first start to talk about, I have like a few points that I wanted to make regarding Black lies that we have been told that have hurt our self-worth and self-esteem. So the first one I want to talk about is complexion. Complexion, light skin versus dark skin. The light skin, dark skin conversation has hurt us. I'm Black and Native American. I've been told I'm not Black enough or white enough because you're very fair skinned, right, Virginia? And 100 years ago, Virginia, you would have been one of the Black people who would pass. You would pass as white, and people as fair skinned as you are, would be used as an asset for the Black community because you could get places and in rooms where Black people wouldn't be allowed. And you would be able to go to a town meeting, or you would be able to go to a trial, or places that Black people couldn't get into. Somebody like Virginia would go and gather information and bring it back to the Black folks because she could pass. So it was an asset and a liability to be able to pass. In my family, I had an uncle who was really fair skinned and he looked white. I always thought he was white. I just thought he was white. He just looked very white. He was in the family through a marriage. And because he was so fair skinned, people didn't know he passed as white. And because he could pass as white, he was able to purchase the first gas station in Philadelphia. So he actually owned several gas stations in Philadelphia. And the reason he could do that is because he presented himself as a white man. He presented himself as a white man, but he looked white, so once he established himself, got his gas station and did what he had to do, then he could bring, his Black family around and that sort of thing. But he was able to do that because they thought he was white, and was able to get the proper licensing and all the stuff you need to be able to own a gas station. Because it's not easy to own a gas station. To be able to get the right license and stuff to be able to purchase gas for your gas station. So the complexion issue has hurt us because if you are darker skinned, you were not seen as valuable. And even the days that we're living in now, that is still very true in a lot of ways. They've done surveys about, employers, do they hire more lighter skinned Black people or darker skinned Black people? In psychology, when we're studying this issue, we have the doll baby test and ask children, which doll is cuter? Is it the Black doll or the white doll? And in most cases, children pick, and where's my white doll at? Well, here she go, y'all. So if these is two Black people, because we come as white as this, as Black people. So when we give this test to children, we say, which is prettier? Which is the prettier doll? And we give this test to white kids and black kids. And in most cases, both sets of kids will pick her. We could say which one is ugly, and they'll pick her. So those are black lies. Black lies that we have been told that have hurt our self-esteem. Now, if you were a dark-skinned girl growing up in America, you learned very quickly that this was more acceptable, that this doll was considered cuter. This doll's hair was considered better than yours as a dark-skinned girl. So that has hurt us for generations. Generations that has hurt us. And it started way back in slavery time. Like a lot of our issues started as Black people, as a community. It started way back in the day, back in slavery time, and how we were divided among each other and set up to kind of hate each other based on that lie, that the lighter skin was considered better. A lighter skinned person was considered more smarter, trustworthy. You know, they were the ones that were in the house of the slave master, and the darker skins were out in the field, you know, were considered savages. And that knowledge, that form of self-hatred has carried us to where we are today. Today, it was just a few months ago, I'm going to pick on Chris Brown. Chris Brown had a policy when he would go to clubs, allegedly, when he would go to clubs and when he would, you know, do after parties, that if you were dark skinned, you were not allowed to, and his policy was, and from what I understand still is, no darkies allowed. So it got exposed because there were a group of girlfriends who went to one of his events, and they were all in line. They were in line, and they were, you know, oh, you passed, you could get in the party. And it got to their girlfriend, and the bouncer said, no darkies allowed. You know, he was that blatant about it, told her she could not get in the party. She could not do the after party because Chris Brown did not like dark women. And of course, you know, as women, we went berserk. And I believe her girlfriends stood up for her. Her girlfriend stood up for her, and they didn't go into the VIP section either and supported her. Just recently, there was a Smash or Pass, not the one Dalvin was in, Beloved Son. It was another one. And the Smash and Pass had a group of light skin. It was, most of the girls were light skinned, and they had one darker skinned girl. And the guys, all black guys, got to the darker skinned girl and said, you know, pass, you too black, you ugly, you too dark, you black as dirt, or whatever. I mean, they were so disrespectful to her. And then you got to think, like, as dark as their skin was, you know, they came from a black woman. So how do you go from loving your mother? You know, my assumption is that you love your mother, right? From loving your black mother to seeing a black woman and telling her she's ugly, she's no good, you're not worthy because of your skin. And it goes back to black lies. The black lies that we've been told since we were little, they matter in the way not only do we feel about ourselves, but the way we treat each other. So that's one point, the complexion issue. Then the hair, the hair, the hair, the hair, the hair. Um, the way we feel about our hair has changed over the generations, right? And so we have been told that, our hair is ugly, basically, that our hair is ugly, that it's not valuable, that it's unkept, whatever we've been told about your hair, unless maybe you were more fair skinned, more mixed, and then your hair was closer to Caucasian than it was to Negro. And so then your hair, you were considered less valuable if your hair was kinky, if your hair had natural curls and that kind of dimension. It's funny because I have been perming my hair. My hair was an issue for me growing up. It was an issue for me growing up. Both of my sisters had long hair. My mom had long hair. I did not. I did not. And so even within my household, I was always valued and told that I was gorgeous. That's why if somebody calls me ugly today, I'm like, ugly where? And which I don't really get that, but get people saying that to me. But if my self-esteem was always good, and it started because of the household, right? It really does start at home. So when I went out into the world and people said, "Oh, your hair is short, you bald headed, you this and that," it didn't rock me as bad as it probably would if I heard it from my own family, which I didn't. So when you're told that, you begin to believe it. Like, damn, my hair isn't like, their hair. I had neighbors that were more fair skinned and they had longer hair, which was funny because they hated their hair. And I hated my hair because my hair was short and thick. She was thick. Um, and so I would go through different stages. I remember one time, like my hair was so ridiculously short. It wouldn't grow. It was this long. It's still short, whatever. So my hair was this long. And I remember someone, it's funny now, someone said to my mom, "You need to let your husband do her hair, because if a man does it, it'll grow." So, and I don't think my mom knew I was listening to this conversation. I don't think she knew that. So the lady was telling my mom, yeah, let her dad do her hair. Let him like pull her, try to work her hair, do her hair. His hands are going to make it grow. Black lies, the lies that hurt our self-esteem. Then I noticed at night, my dad, poor thing, he would be trying to do my hair. Like he would be trying to pull it up. And girl, you couldn't even get it. And you could not get her in the rubber band. Rubber band where? So my dad would be trying to do my hair and then in my head, I'm like, okay, daddy doing my hair, it's going to grow. Because that lady said, if he does it, it'll grow. Well, of course, that never happened. Black lies that hurt our self-esteem. So, of course, that began to weigh on my self-worth, because now it's like, okay, I'm bald-headed. Like, damn, other people got hair. My sisters got hair. My mom got hair. My cousins got hair. I ain't got shit. And so that began to weigh on my self-esteem. And then I remember I went through this phase where I was wearing this wool hat. I even wrote like a poem about it. I still have it, about this brown hat. I got this brown hat and I wouldn't take it off. I would not take that brown hat off. And I would make up all kinds of excuses why I wore that brown hat, but I was wearing it because I was ashamed of my hair. Black lives matter. So I was ashamed of my hair, and so I was covering it. And I think I wore that hat for a long time. I remember writing about it, and like I said, I still have that. I wrote like a little book, like a little journal entry about my brown hat, and it really helped me to me because I was able to cover up what I was ashamed of. Okay, so you get past that, and then finally, Jerry curls came out. And so then those of us Black girls who, were dealing with not having, a straightener product in our hair, it was just natural. My mom would, you know, straighten my hair with a straightening comb in the morning. By the afternoon, girl, I was looking like Florida Evans again. It was back to the afro. And so then we got introduced to straightening products, Black Lies, that told us, if you straighten your hair, you're going to look better, right? So I got to an age where then I could get my hair straightened, which was even worse because it ended up taking out. I ain't had nothing but this bit much. The straightener gave me this much, and then once it ate out my hair, I was back down to this much. So that was worse. So anyway, go through you as Black women, most Black women with kinkier natural hair can tell you this. So you go through all those phases, right? So finally, hopefully, your self-esteem is intact, that you can not believe the lies. I got to a point where I did not believe the lie that I was not valuable because of my hair, right? So you able to get past that, but do we, and I know I make a real conscious decision not to pass that judgment on to my nieces and nephews and about their hair, and even my sons about their hair. It's important that we shut down those Black lies that have hurt us over the years. So as a community of Black women and men, we've gone through all kinds of transitions with our hair. Oftentimes it's because of what, maybe what the media says, what marketing is. In the 60s, it was natural afros. If you go back and look at what our hair looked like in the 60s. Then in the 70s, 80s, it was perms. We're back to natural. My hair is natural. I put braids in it as a protective style. But since I've been natural, I look at my hair and I see like the natural curls and the curl pattern that I naturally have, that I couldn't see when I was putting relaxers in my hair. So a lot of women who have gone natural now talk about that, how beautiful and naturally defined and curly or not curly their hair is in its natural state. So that Black lie that we were told about our hair, your hair is better, because it's long and it's thin and it's white, is a lie. It's a lie. And I still hear that within our own community. Oh, she's a cute little girl. She's got good hair. So that's like a whole nother video. The good hair, bad hair conversation is so outdated. And if we're still telling our little girls that they have good hair versus somebody with bad hair, you're not doing a good job as a parent to that child when it comes to their self-esteem. You're just not. And if you are telling your little girl that she has good hair because her hair is long and curly and looks more European, then what are you telling your little girl about her friend who hair is not like that? And so what are you teaching her about that? It's all hair is beautiful. everyone's hair is beautiful. Everyone's hair is different. And you have to show um love and support for everyone, and not just someone that you think is more beautiful because they have long straight hair or whatever. So that's another black lie that has mattered in defining our self-worth and our self-esteem. So I talked about complexion, talked about hair. We could talk about another black lie, um, is that black people are not as smart as white people. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say, the lie is that Asian people are smarter than white and black people and Hispanic people. That is a lie. And that black lie has hurt us in the education system. That when we're in the and even me as an educator, even as an educator myself, I remember maybe like the first year, because I'm not a trained teacher. I'm an professor, adjunct. And so I wasn't trained as a teacher, like a middle school teacher, a high school teacher. So when I come into the classroom, I'm just coming with my own knowledge of psychology, so I'm coming from, a non-teaching background. But so I have some black lies in my head, right? So I've had Asian students that I would just assume are going to be smart, right? So you come into a classroom, you're going to size up everybody. Okay, there they go. Oh, I know he's going to be cool. Okay, which has been a lie, which has been a total lie, right? Not all Asian students are smart. They're just not. Not all Asian students are smart. And not all black students are going to be goofing off in your class. And not all white students are going to do their work, right? So those are black lies that we have been told, and then we believe it, and then we carry that on. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Still finishing up black and indigenous people mental health awareness. I hate my hair for the longest time. I did too, Virginia. I did too. And it's because of the lies. Now, Virginia, you have longer hair that I would have admired, back when I was younger, just to have any type of length. I remember I would put like a pair of stockings on my head and like pretend that was my hair. Like I would walk around the house like that. And that is because of the black lies that I had been told about, my hair wasn't as valuable as someone with longer hair. We look at, how a lot of black women wear wigs and extensions. And the wigs and extensions are a reflection of what an African person's hair would be. Wigs are straight hair, European looking hair, Asian hair, that for us in the black community is valuable. It's valuable. Although you do a survey with black men, and they'll tell you they don't like for black women to wear wigs and fake hair. They would rather for black women to wear straight hair, to wear their natural hair. But if we put those same black men in a and ask them to choose between what do they think is more beautiful, pick what you think is more beautiful, and in a lot of cases they're going to pick a light-skinned woman. In a lot of cases they're going to pick a light-skinned woman. Why? Why is that their first choice? And it's nothing against white. It's nothing against lighter skinned women. It's not. Because oftentimes lighter skinned women date darker men and would rather date a darker man because light skinned women have their own issues with the black lies that they were told about who they are, um, about how, they don't necessarily fit in with being black or being white. So then they have their own issues, their black lies that they were turned, burn them ears. Oh yeah, straightening your hair. Um, that they were told. I mean, when our babies are born, I mean, we have been told these lies for so long. Even in my family, we just had a couple of babies born, and we look at their ears like, what color? What color is his ears? Like, is his ears dark? Because we've been told that around the fingertips are going to tell you the true color of what the baby's skin tone is going to look like, or their ears. So if their ears are really dark, like, oh, yep, she's going to be dark. She's going to be dark, or whatever. You know, families, if you come from a lighter skinned family, were you told that you can't date someone who is darker skinned? I've heard that, or lighter skinned people not claiming their African heritage, but claiming Indian, Native American. Oh, my family's Native American, okay. I remember somebody in my family was saying like, oh no, we Chesapeake. I was about to say Chesapeake. We Cherokee. We are Cherokee Indians. Look at grandma hair. Now that's Cherokee. And I remember thinking, girl, we is not no damn Cherokee. There was no value in being descendants from Africa, which is sad. It's a lie. It's a black lie. So we know that black lives matter because they have hurt our self-esteem. So what do? We cannot continue to pass on those lies, that we have to tell the next generation the truth about who we are, the truth about where we came from, the truth about why we look the way we look, the truth about our beauty, the truth about our strength, the truth about who they are, and that they are valuable. I don't care if they're light skin, dark skin, medium skin, hair long, short, thick, thin, doesn't matter. It does not matter. That it is the outside and the inside that carries your beauty and how you believe in yourself. I know a lot of people who are considered beautiful on the outside, and they carry a lot of self-hatred on the inside, and they hate themselves because of lies that they have been told and they have believed, that has hurt their self-worth and self-esteem. And it doesn't even matter that they are considered beautiful on the outside. So let's stop believing those black lies that really don't matter, but matter and have mattered to hurt our self-esteem. But thank you, thank you, thank you. My phone is dying. I got to get off of them, down to 3%. Thank you, guys. If you are here for the replay, please hit the like button on your way out. And while you're watching it, leave me a comment. Thank you, everyone that came into the live tonight. Bye.